This past week was one of the most historic times for ETF entries into Ethereum. They reached $285 billion, which was huge, huge, huge. But now it's the weekend, so no more updates until then. But yeah, guys, these are record numbers. What does this mean for XRP? Since the beginning, I've been telling you guys that when you see a cryptocurrency like Ethereum becoming so popular, you should think about the good things that could happen to the market for other cryptocurrencies, including XRP. We've also talked about how this helps us understand what really happens when you see an XRP spot ETF. I also made some similarities. For example, if you look back 2 months, Ethereum inflows were pretty slow, but over the last 2 months, we've seen that change, that flip the switch moment for ETFs. Of course, Treasury, Tom Lee's company is building the biggest treasury for Ethereum, which is why a lot of people are interested, but I'm even more excited about what will happen when an XRP ETF goes live because of this. I'm going to talk a little more about what I think about that. But good to see you again on the Crypto ZX link. We're still seeing a lot of rent all over the place, except for a few coins that are going up. When we talk about coins that are going up, XRP is one of them. Its price is now $3.14, up about 1%. Also, Bitcoin's value has gone up about 2% and is now worth $187 billion. The amount of money traded in 24 hours was about $6.1 billion as of Saturday morning. But before we go any further, as always, I want to make it clear that nothing on this channel is meant to be taken as financial advice. As with any investment, you should always do your own study before putting money into crypto. So XRP is just sitting on top of the range of all-time highs. Right now, net entries aren't going in or out, so they'll only go up or down one way until some kind of volume hits. I agree with you that things are still looking really good for XRP. We're still in that range, but the price of XRP is still looking better than a lot of people think it will be. We'll pull out the charts and you can talk about that. But read what Paul Atkins of the SEC has to say. Doing all of this and dealing with all of these different rules is mostly done to give people some peace of mind. Yes, we needed this. If you've been in this space for a while, you know that the government and SEC head, Gary Gensler, didn't make things clear when it came to crypto during the last administration. So much frustration built up because there were no guidelines. It was like making rules out of thin air. As a result, many big companies that wanted to build in the US moved their operations overseas because there wasn't support for crypto clarity. This is where the flip the switch event is happening. And I think this makes it possible for more growth and interest to come in, not just from stores, but also from institutions and developers. So that's the clear part. And it means that other financial institutions can start providing these services or entering the safe coin market. Of course, they won't do that unless there is a really clear, gives you an idea of what the effects are and what kind of right thing to do. What's wrong? This is what's going on right now. This has never happened before in the history of crypto, but it is now. This is where the excitement comes in, and it ties back to my main point about what will happen when XRP ETFs go live. Right now, bank companies are getting a lot of money. If they're like the one I gave you guys, their money will keep coming in. The person who wants to be the biggest theory and treasury business is. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because let's guess what might happen. Could a big company come along and become the biggest XRP strategic reserve? And let's not focus on that specific use case and category. It makes sense. So I don't see why not. What if I told you that we can already see signs of that? So as you may have seen in the last few vids, I've said that there are some publicly traded companies that are actually raising money to build an XRP strategic reserve. And this is before the XRP spot ETF starts trading. So guys, these puzzle pieces are beginning to fit together for me. That's something I don't want you guys to miss. Oh, sure. Tell me what you think about that in the comments below. But first, take a look at this. In the same way that banks can connect to Swift, they will also be able to connect their core processes to Ripple. Take a look at what X-Finance Bulls says about that. We're still putting trillions of dollars on old technology from the 1970s. That's right. Give it some time to sink in. That's so true. This is where ISO 222 comes in, and we can see that switch working. But it's hard to slow and broken to send money across borders. With XRP and stablecoins that work, Ripple is making rails. It's been coming for years. Swift will not make it through this run. Even the CEO of Swift has said nice things about XRP. They are aware of what's going on. Even the CEO of Ethereum has said that Swift doesn't even follow ISO standards. Take that in, guys. Also, the XRP community should look at the case between the SEC and Ripple over XRP. Because of this, the SEC government told the Court of Appeals that both sides had filed a joint stipulation of dismissal of the appeals, and that stipulation is still open, which means it needs to be approved by the court. I know people are getting angry about this, so let's end it for good. Right now, it's still waiting for the judge. Yes, of course, both sides have chosen to drop the appeal after all. We want to end this case that has been going on for 5 years. It seems like a long time ago, but it's still being thought about, and I think we're still waiting for approval, and when that permission comes into play, I believe that's where it is now. It's over us for good. There's still a judge to sign off on this, even though you know it's okay. There is no longer any appeal, and they don't want to go through the whole process again. It's set in stone, it is done, but the judge needs to come and officially end this by, blessing it. This is really very interesting and will definitely keep you guys busy. Regarding that, and a shout out to our small guests, XRP has already been tried and found to work under South Africa's Exchange Control Regulation 1961. It was overseen by the South African Reserve Bank's Surveillance Department for 4 cross-border crypto asset payments. That's all very important, but let's see what's going on with the price now. 59.61% is the level of power you see here. Of course, we did see this rise, and up to 60% of them were turned down in that area. We've been going down since then. Bitcoins did go back down in price as well. Let's make it live again to see where Bitcoins are going. It's going over 117,400 before the weekend, and that drop from last night at 119,000 did happen. We do want to keep this in mind, of course, but if you look at XRP right now, it's trying to go back up. Do insiders know something we don't? You could see this for yourself. XRP is actually holding up pretty well. We put it through several more tests at the $3 price point. People who follow my show know that this is the level we've talked about a lot. To give you guys a better idea of what I'm talking about, let me try to get this longer. You can see this for yourself. $3 was retested twice, once on August 14th and again yesterday. You can see that we picked you up. So if you had some buy orders in around that $3 price point, time in, time out. For the third biggest coin, the value is expected to rise by about 5%, which, to be honest, is a pretty big change. You can see that there is some pushback around $3.14. I wouldn't be shocked if the price of XRP quickly starts to rise back up to the $3.32 range if this can break out. So far, I like what I see. This is Riat for XRP. If you haven't joined yet, don't worry. We'll take care of you. Why are you still here? Do not be shy. Share your thoughts below. Sure, follow me on X. That's a big one. Also, guys, leave a comment below ZX if you watched this video all the way through. That will show me that you did. I love all of you. Have a nice day. Crypto ZX, and good night.